Hi, I'm Ange and welcome to your 60-minute Hatha class. Make your way onto your mat, coming into the center, taking your knees as wide as the mat, toes touch, bringing your hands forward and placing the forehead to the mat, finding child's pose. So closing your eyes when you get here, and breathing deeply into your belly, allowing it to expand between your thighs with every inhale, and gently drawing navel back to spine with every exhale. Allowing your body to be completely heavy. And gazing towards your fingertips, walk your hands out to the left. Place your right hand on top of the left and bring the forehead back to the mat. Pushing down into the hands, keeping that right hip grounded, feeling into the side stretch. Starting at the hip, coming all the way down to your right pinky. And lifting the head up, making your way back through center and up and over to the right side, left palm onto right, place the head back down. And lifting up again, coming back into center, reaching the hands forward, pushing down into the hands, sinking the hips a little closer to the heels, turning the arms on. And then gently walking the hands back towards your knees, bring the knees in and come into tabletop position. So wrists stacked underneath your shoulders, knees underneath hips. Pushing down into the hands so the arms are nice and active. Inhale, release the belly, gaze forward for cow, lift the chin. Exhale, round, push the mat away from you. Gaze towards your belly. Inhale, release the belly, gaze forward for cow. Exhale, round the spine for cat. One more time, inhale, release the belly, gaze forward. Exhale, round. Come back to a neutral tabletop. Step your right leg back, coming into a supported side plank. Reach the right arm up. Ground down through the outer edge of the right foot so that the right leg is active. Slight tuck of the tailbone. Draw the low belly in. And if it feels okay on your neck, you can look towards your right fingertips. Breathe. And if you want a little bit more of a challenge, you can float this right leg away from the mat, flexing through the foot for a half moon variation. Keep breathing, the leg is nice and active, it's straight. Take one more inhale. Exhale, release the knee and the hand back to the mat, find tabletop, reset. And then moving to the left side. So step the left leg back, swing the right foot out for your supported side plank. Reach the left fingertips up to the sky. Again, if it feels good on your neck, gaze towards the fingertips. Ground down through the outer edge of that left foot. And keep drawing the low belly in with every exhale. And again, if you took it on the other side, float the left leg away from the mat, flexing through the foot. Finding your half moon variation. Take an inhale here. Exhale, release the hand and knee back to the mat. Moving through one round of cat-cow. Inhale, release the belly gaze forward. Exhale, round, push the mat away from you. Keep the cat-like action in your spine. Lift the knees to hover. Making sure you're pushing down into both your toes and your hands. Keep pulling that lower belly in. Just building a little bit of heat in your core. Take an inhale here, and as you exhale, find downward facing dog. Lift the hips up high. And you can start to move around here, bending one knee and then the other. Rising onto the balls of your feet as you inhale, sinking the heels down as you exhale. And then coming into a still down dog shape, invite a little bend into your knees. Tilt the tailbone up to the sky and really push into your hands. Rock forward into your plank pose. So feet are hip-width distance apart. Wrists are still underneath your shoulders, spreading the fingers nice and wide. And you can rock forwards and back here. Just shifting the weight from the heel of your hand into the knuckles. Stretching out the calves and your toes a little bit. And then allow your heels to fall to the left. Inhale, reach the right fingertips up for side plank. And then exhale, come back to center. Drop the heels to the right side this time. Inhale, reach the hands up. And then exhale, come back to center. Stay for the inhale. As you exhale, release the knees and lower the chest all the way down. Push into the tops of your feet. Inhale, peel the chest up for cobra. Exhale, release. Inhale, tabletop. Exhale, child's pose. Take a few moments here. Connect to your breath. And then slowly walking the hands back towards your knees, making your way into tabletop. Tuck the toes under, find downward facing dog. Inhale, sweep the right leg up to the sky, keep the hips square. Exhale, step the foot to the outside of your right hand, runner's lunge. So toes turned out, back legs nice and strong. Arms are strong, and allow your hips to sink here, creating some space in your hips. Inhale, reach the right arm up to the sky, easy twist. Stay for the exhale as you roll the wrist out a few times in one direction and a few times in the other. Inhale here. Exhale, thread this hand between your left hand and right foot and crawl over to the left side, bending into your left knee and straightening your front leg. You might need your hands for support. Otherwise, you can bring your hands to heart center, focus on one point, and come back to your breath. Maybe close your eyes. And you should feel a really nice stretch on the inside of the right leg. And then gently release the hands down. Crawl into the middle of your mat. Turn your toes in and find your wide-legged forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, straighten the spine. Exhale, fold the torso between the legs. So here, notice where the weight is in your foot. And play around with shifting it to the ball of the foot and the heel. Just notice where you tend to distribute your weight. And then see if you can find a middle ground. Really rooting down through the outer edges of your feet. Lifting the inner arches. And if your legs are straight, engaging the front of your legs. Relax the head and neck. Hands come back underneath your shoulders, halfway lift, inhale. As you exhale, turn your heels in, sink the hips low, so either lower or in line with your shoulders. And on your next inhale, big movement, inhale, push into the feet, sweep the arms up, star pose. Exhale, sink into horse. So sinking nice and low, working the knees open, slight tuck of the tailbone, containing the lower belly and ribs. You can bring your hands to heart center and come back to the breath. So building lots of heat in the legs here. Inhale, reach the hands up, find star pose. On the exhale, turn your right toes forward, sink low into warrior two. The back foot is parallel to the back edge of your mat. The right knee is in line with the right ankle, and you're gazing over your middle fingertip. This isn't so good on your neck, you can just face forwards. And come back to your breath. This is challenging. See if you can use your breath to find ease in the shape. Inhale, reverse triangle, straighten the front leg, lean back. Exhale, extended side angle, forearm to thigh. Reach the left fingertips forward, open up the chest. So your legs are still strong here. Come back to the breath. Take one more inhale. As you exhale, release the left hand down and then the right finding low lunge. Take an inhale here. As you exhale, hop that back foot forwards, finding pyramid pose. So your back leg's nice and straight. The front leg can have a bend in it. Draw the right hip back and the left hip forward. And just allow your head and neck to be heavy and relaxed. Take your hands slightly forward, bend into that front knee if it isn't already. Come onto the ball of the back foot and take your hands a little further forward. You can keep the right knee bent to make sure the hands are planted firmly into the mat. Drive the left leg up for standing splits. Relax your torso, relax the head. Take a breath here. And as you exhale, start to open up the hip to the left side. So stacking the hips on top of each other. Left toes pointing to the left side, foot is flexed, the leg is active. And if you feel quite good with your balance, come onto the left fingertips. If you want to go a little further, start to lift that hand up, reaching it all the way up to the ceiling for your half moon variation. And gazing down at the floor will help you with your balance. Keep that left lifted leg active and strong. And come back to your breath. If you fall out of this, just get back in. It does require some balance. Take an inhale here. Exhale, release the left hand down to the mat. Tuck the left knee behind the right for Shiva squat. Inhale, standing splits, reach the left leg up. Exhale, Shiva squat. Inhale, standing splits. Exhale, Shiva squat. Last time. Inhale, standing splits. Exhale, crisscross forward fold. So step the left foot behind and next to the right. And your knees can be bent here. Fold forwards over the legs. And bring your hands out again. Inhale, standing splits. Exhale, forward fold. Left foot meets right. And just taking a few moments here and letting everything go. Inhale, halfway lift hands to shins, straighten the legs, straighten the spine. Exhale, plant your palms flat, step the right foot first and then the left. Find plank. Taking a few breaths here, keeping that core nice and fired up. Legs are strong, pushing down into the toes. Slight tuck of the tailbone. Engage the glutes. Take an inhale. Exhale, lower all the way down. You can use your knees if you need to. Untuck your toes. Push into the tops of the feet. Inhale, cobra pose. No weight in the hands. Squeeze the elbows. Exhale, release. Tabletop inhale. Exhale, downward facing dog. Taking a few moments here to reset. Find your breath. Inhale, sweep the left leg up to the sky, three-legged dog. Exhale, hug the knee to the left shoulder, find runner's lunge. So left foot comes to the outside of the left hand. Work that right foot back a little bit. The leg is strong and just allow the hips to sink to create some space. Inhale, reach that left arm up to the sky. Roll the wrist out a few times in one direction and a few times in another. Inhale here. Exhale, thread this hand between the right hand and left foot and crawl over to the right side, bending deeply into that right leg, flexing through your left foot. And again, if you've got balance, you can bring your hands to heart center. Otherwise, keep them down on the floor for extra support. Wherever you are, close your eyes and find your breath. And just breathing into this deep stretch on the inside of the left leg. And releasing the hands to the mat. Lift the hips up and find that wide-legged forward fold in the center of your mat. Taking an inhale here, nice flat back. And as you exhale, folding between the legs. Letting your head go. And grounding down through the outer edges of your feet. And bringing your hands underneath your shoulders. Just begin to bend into one knee and then the other. Just deepening the stretch on the insides of the legs. Almost as if you're skiing. And then coming back to center. Hands underneath your shoulders, turn the heels in, sit the hips low, get nice and low. And then on your next inhale, standing up, reaching up, tall star pose. Exhale, find horse. And again, if you want to, you can bring some movement into this pose. And just working with your breath. Release your hands to your knees. Take an inhale in the center, and as you exhale, bring left shoulder towards right knee. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, right shoulder towards left knee. One more time each side. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist. Inhale, come back to center. Hands to your heart as you exhale. Whew, the legs are burning here. Inhale, reach the hands up. Exhale, warrior two to the front of the mat. Left toes turn forwards, right toes turn in slightly. So you want to make sure that this left knee is in line with your left ankle. And you're grounding down through the outer edge of your back foot. And then just finding your shape and coming back to your breath. If your neck allows it, you can gaze over your middle fingertip. Building lots of strength in the legs. Inhale, reverse triangle. Reach back straight in the front leg. Exhale, extended side angle, forearm to thigh. Reach this right arm up and over, opening the chest up. Legs are still nice and strong. Take an inhale here. Exhale, release the right hand to the mat. Left hand comes down too. Hop the back foot in until it's flat, setting up for pyramid pose. So begin to straighten the front leg. If it doesn't straighten all the way, that's fine. And just bow the torso down. Draw the right hip back and left hip back and right hip forward. And just breathing into the stretch that you feel in the back of your hamstrings. Bending slightly into this left leg, take your hands forward. Float the right leg up for standing splits, toes are flexed down. Whoop. The next pose does require some level of balance. So you start with your hands connected. Open up the hips to face the right side, so your hips are stacked. Flex through the right foot, the right leg is nice and active. You can either stay here, otherwise come onto your right fingertips and just reassessing at every level. And if you want a little bit more, maybe you float the right fingertips up to the ceiling. Keep that right leg active. You can have a bend in the left leg. And come back to your breath. Half moon is quite a strong posture. It requires a lot of strength in the core and in your legs, as well as balance. So always getting back in if you fall out. Don't take yourself too seriously. Take an inhale here. Exhale, release the right hand to the mat. Tuck the right knee behind left, Shiva squat. Inhale, standing splits, reach the right foot up to the sky. Exhale, Shiva squat. One more time, inhale, standing splits. Exhale, Shiva squat. Inhale, standing splits. This time as you exhale, step the right foot behind and next to the left for crisscross forward fold. And bend your knees if you need to. Relax the torso over the legs. Come back to that slow, steady breath. Hands come back to the mat. Inhale, sweep the right leg up, standing splits. Exhale, forward fold, right foot meets left. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forwards. Sit the hips nice and low. Inhale for chair pose. Sweep the arms up. Make sure you can see your toes. If you need a little bit more stability, take the feet hip width distance apart. Sit nice and low, slight tuck of the tailbone so the lower back is long. Sorry, is flat. And if your shoulders are hunched up around your ears, that's not so good. So take your hands a little wider or bring your hands to heart center. Stay for the inhale. Exhale, fold forwards, let that go. Hands down on the mat, heel toe your feet out to the edges, turn the toes out and sink the hips down, finding your yogic squat. So just moving around here so that you can settle into the shape more comfortably. Bring your hands, your elbows into the insides of your knees and your hands at your heart. Bring your eyes to close and just find your breath. And gently release the hands down. You're going to stay in this pose, but instead of using the elbows to open up the legs, you're going to actively use the glutes to open up the legs. So working those knees back. We're working a lot into the legs today. Take a few more breaths here. And then gently round into this, relax the legs. Relax your head and neck. And then bringing your hands behind you, planting your sit bones, and bringing the soles of the feet to touch. So your legs look like butterfly wings. If you can't get your heels so close, that's fine. Just find a shape that's comfortable. You can also prop a pillow under your hips. And then take an inhale here to grow nice and tall. Bring your hands down to the mat and start to walk them forward, finding your edge. And if you want, you can bring your forearms down. But wherever you are, relax the head. And bring the eyes to close. And come back to your breath. And then gently walk the hands back towards your shins and close the knees. Plant the soles of the feet flat. Reach the fingertips forward, engage the core, and slowly start to roll down onto your back. And getting nice and comfy. And bringing the heels close to your bottom so that your middle fingers can graze them. Keep the feet hip-width distance apart. Palms face down, pushing into the mat. And then start to lift the hips, curling the tailbone up towards the sky, pushing into the feet. And wiggling the shoulders underneath you. Maybe you can interlace the hands. Keep pushing down into the feet to create the lift. Relax the glutes slightly. And come back to your breath. We're going to be here a while. So you're working that chest towards your chin. And the lift is coming from the grounding down of your feet into the mat more than your glutes. And your glutes will be slightly engaged, but they're not clenched. You want to make sure that there's space in the lower back. And you should start to feel the thighs burn. We're going to stay for 3 more deep breaths here. Take an inhale. And as you exhale, release the hands, release the shoulders. Slowly roll down upper, middle, lower back. And then take the feet as wide as the mat. Allow the knees to fall into touch. Rest your right hand on your belly, your left hand on your heart. So just slowing the breath down here. Back bends, even gentle ones, tend to send the heart rate up. Bring the hands back to the mat. Set yourself up for the second round of bridge. Soles of the feet hip-width distance apart. Palms face down into the mat. Curl the tailbone up, push into the feet. Lift the hips all the way up. Keeping the knees in line with the hips. Palms stay flat. Walk your feet to touch this time. And sweep the right leg up to the sky. Take an inhale here. As you exhale, cross the right ankle over the left knee. Keep the right foot flexed. And then gently lower the spine back down to the mat. Draw the knees into your chest, finding your figure 4. So if this doesn't work for you, you can keep the foot planted and just keep actively working the right knee out. Otherwise, grab the hamstring, interlace the fingers, and keep drawing that left knee into your chest. Should feel a really nice opening in the outside of the right hip and glute. Two more deep breaths. And then gently release the hands, place the foot back down. Inhale, reach that right leg up, and then plant the sole of the foot down. Bring the feet to hip-width distance apart. Hands at your sides, and we roll up one more time. Push into bridge pose, lift up, pushing down into the mat to create the lift. Walk the feet together, and then float the left leg up as you inhale. Stay here for the exhale, pushing down into the right leg. Inhale here. Exhale, cross the left ankle over right knee. Keep the left foot flexed. And then slowly lower the spine back down to the mat. Either staying here, otherwise reaching through the window, grabbing the back of the hamstring or shin. And then pulling that right knee towards your chest for figure 4. Keep flexing the left toes to protect the knee. Tuck your chin in so the back of the neck is long. And come back to your breath. Really breathing into the stretch you can feel in the outside of the left hip. And then plant your foot down. Extend that left leg up to the sky. And then place the foot down. Bring the soles of the feet to touch. Allow the knees to fall open. Again, right hand to the belly, left hand to your heart. And just taking a few moments here. If this feels too intense for you, you can just bring your feet back to the edges of the mat and let the knees fall into touch. So just listen to your lower back and your hips. And just slowing everything down. Feeling the rise and fall of your belly as you breathe underneath your right hand. Maybe you feel your heart beating underneath the left. And then gently closing your knees. Extend your left leg long, draw the right knee into your chest. Give it a big squeeze and roll the right ankle out a few times in one direction and in the other. And then pull the right knee across your body to the left-hand side, finding supine twist. So stacking the hips, oh, my back clicked. Stacking the hips on top of one another, keeping both shoulder blades connected. And you can rest your right foot on the inside of the left leg. And if your neck allows it, gazing towards your right fingertips. And when you're here, finding that deep belly breath once more. Maybe closing the eyes. And then gently coming back through center, square the hips off. Bring the left foot down first, extend the right. And draw that left knee into your chest, give it a big squeeze and roll the ankle out a few times in one direction and a few times in the other. And then gently drawing this knee across the body to the right-hand side, stacking the hips. Both shoulder blades stay connected to the mat. And again, either looking up towards the ceiling or towards the left fingertips. Closing the eyes and coming back to that deep belly breathing. A few more breaths here. And then gently releasing out of this, square the hips off and draw the knees in and give yourself a big squeeze. Gently rock from side to side, massaging the lower back and kidney belt area. And you can either stay here or, if you would like to, take a happy baby. So you're working the tailbone back down to the mat. My hips slightly lifted. Don't worry about that. I have got a little microphone box on my lower back. So just work your knees down, pushing the feet back into the hands, really lengthening that tailbone all the way down to the back. And if this is too much for you, you can grab the shins or just hold the legs down and wide. And then gently drawing the knees into your chest, giving yourself one last squeeze. Take an inhale here. And then exhale, plant the feet first. And then gently extend one leg wide and then the other, taking up as much space as you can. Palms face up at your sides. Relax the feet. Tuck the tailbone slightly to lengthen the lower back. Shoulder blades work towards one another to broaden the chest. And then slight tuck of the chin so that the neck is long. Bring your eyes to close. And if you need to grab a jersey, do so. You want to be warm for this. Allow your breath to return back to its natural rhythm. The body becoming completely heavy, supported by the ground beneath you. And if your mind wanders off, bring it back to observing the movement of your breath, creating an anchor for the mind. Resisting any urge to move or fidget. And in the stillness, giving your mind the opportunity to integrate the movements your body just did. This is your practice, so if you'd like to stay in Shavasana, please do. Otherwise, invite some deeper breaths back into the body. Some movement into your fingers and toes. A gentle roll of the head from side to side. And then gently bending one knee, place the foot down, and then the other. And bring the knees into the chest. And give yourself a squeeze. And then reach the right arm above your head and roll onto your right side for fetal position. And just staying here for a few breaths. And then gently pushing yourself up to a seat. Either kneeling or with your legs crossed, whatever feels comfortable for you. Resting your hands on your knees, sitting up nice and tall, and bringing your eyes to close. Just taking the next few moments to check in with your body. Notice how you're feeling physically, energetically, emotionally. I invite you to connect to an intention, something you'd like to practice. And bring your hands to your heart center, thumbs pushing into your sternums. Take a deep inhale here. And as you exhale, bow your head to your hands, sealing that intention in, honoring yourself and your practice. Thank you for letting me guide you through it today. Namaste.